for what could be a title deciding weekend. Owen Quimby, I'm riding on board with him right now. Owen Quimby is the man in the lead of this World Championship. He needs just a third position to seal the world title here today. It doesn't matter what Jack Pearson does if this man finishes third, but if he doesn't finish third, there is every possibility that Jack Pearson could take this to Abu Dhabi. But look at that, Owen Quimby immediately going quickest with a 1:09.9. But now look, Silent Assassin goes even quicker than him, a 1:09.8 at the start of the session. The first lap just being completed as you join us. Bossman Sean's third quickest, 3/10 off the pace. Chris Johnson is fourth quickest with Mr. Chiapelli in fifth position. Dom Smith in sixth. I've got Phil Bardwell with me today. Phil, welcome aboard TGP2. This is going to be fun, isn't it?
It is, yes. It's going to be very interesting. Both titles down to the wire, the drivers and the constructors. The constructors a bit more tightly contested with 3 teams in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's have a quick look at those constructor standings, Phil. I'm just going to get them up right now.
Jack Pearson's just gone to third, just to
Yep, so he has. Two and a half tenths shy, so he's not going to be too pleased with that, Jack, is he? He needs to be quickest. He needs to win this race today, Phil, doesn't he, really? He needs to put in a super performance.
He does, so round 1 at the moment goes to Owen in qualifying stats, but as you were, to the...
Yeah, basically, yeah, of course. So, the team fight, the constructors, we have got Mercedes on top, Jacko and Owen with 363. Needless to say that Owen has got the bulk of those points. And second it is Haas, and again, Jack's got the bulk of these points. Jack and Joe on 343, so that's a 20-point difference. Mercedes on 363, Haas on 343, and then a further 3 points back, you've got Force India with Mike and Dom on 339. So yeah, as you said, Phil, it's absolutely wide open. But where do you think, Phil? Who do you think will win it? Do you think it'll be Mercedes, Haas, Force India? Where do you think it's going to go?
I think you can't look past the Mercedes at the moment. I think Owen is just a tiny bit too strong. Especially if it rains here, it won't rain at Abu Dhabi, but if it rains here, you put your mortgage on Owen in this class.
Yeah, he's superb in the weight, isn't he? Just even in TGP1 he's shown it in the past, not just in TGP2.
He has, yes. We all know about that in TGP1. He's shown that many a time.
Yeah, he sure has. So we can expect Owen, if it does rain, to waltz away into the distance and cruise over the line and seal that world title. But anyway, let's have a quick rundown of the driver standings then, with 2 rounds to go in this championship. Owen Quimby, as we said, leads the way with 296 points. He's 36 points clear of Jack Pearson on 260. He needs to outscore Jack Pearson by 11. Sorry, Jack Pearson needs to outscore Owen by 11 points to keep it alive. He cannot do that with a victory if Owen is third. He can only outscore him by 10. So Owen needs third. Mike Noon is third in the standings, some way back on 197, with Silent Assassin in fourth. Dom Smith sits fifth with 142. He'll be looking to get ahead of Silent Assassin at this round of the championship. It's going to be tough though with Silent Assassin on top in the standings at the moment. We've got Jess in 6th position with 108, with Chris Johnson on 105. Sir Lane is in 8th position with 97. Sean Grant has 95, and Joe Sear could climb up today with a good strong couple of results. He's on 83 points in 10th place. What do you think of Joe's chances today, Phil? Can he get his car up towards the top? Or are we asking a bit much?
He probably needs a little bit of luck to go his way, but you never know. We've seen in the past moments of brilliance and heartache. I think I remember Singapore when he was in TGP1. He got up to second before he spun at the Singapore Sling, wasn't it? If I remember rightly.
Yeah, that's right, Joe Sear.
And I hit him as well on that. I don't want to bring that one back up. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah. Oh well, poor Joe. That was a good evening for him. It was going really well that day, but it never worked out. Phil, I've got to ask you about the track. We've got a slight lull in the action at the moment. We've got Sir Lane out there. We'll ride on board with him, Phil, and we'll have a little look through the lap. So down the hill into the Senna S, and now into turn 3, the long high-speed turn 3 left-hander. Very tricky in the wet conditions. We found that out back in 2003. But Phil, as we ride on board here with Sir Lane, what's your favourite part of the track? Have you got a preference? Do you like this track at all?
I quite like this track. Yeah, it's very technical, especially this bit. Sir Lane is about to enter here. He's not on a hot lap, so he's probably going to cruise here. He takes it in 6th gear. You can do like 5th or 6th gear. This is a tricky braking point. An overtaking opportunity, possibly, but it's very tricky. This is, you've got to be patient on the power to get on the power there, and then here you got to, it understeers, and you got to wait to put the throttle back on, and flat out heading up to the final braking point of the course at Junshao. This caught me out yesterday on the curb there. I just got some wheel spin. It's very tricky.
Oh, was that on the track walk? Was that when you were doing the track walk for Sales Sports? were you in the golf trolley for Sales Sports, Phil? Oh, I didn't know I didn't know you raced. Of course, TGP1. Of course, it wasn't in the bike, the golf trolley. He was racing, of course. So what happened, Phil, down there? Did you just go a little bit wide?
Yeah. So I was fighting. I was in 6th place. I was chasing. I think Martin it was. We were literally 3 seconds away from the leader, but I just went wide, got greedy on the throttle, and sent me spinning inside. Silly mistake, really.
I wonder if there'll be any repeats of that today then from any of the drivers. It's very easy done. But Phil, your favourite part? Have you got a favourite part?
I like the first 3 corners of Senna S's. It's awesome. It's like your best place for an overtaking opportunity, and you can go inside or outside. It lends itself to overtaking anywhere you can, so it's great for the fans. We've seen many like Max Verstappen, David Coulthard in the past pull off some brilliant overtakes down there.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out tomorrow how good the action is even in these 2017 cars. But for now, let's focus on Jack Pearson, who needs this lap for the championship, really. It needs to be a good lap. He's currently 2.5 tenths shy, a quarter of a second away from Silent Assassin. Only a tenth and a half from Owen Quimby, but he needs to get it right. Jack Pearson then, coming down to Esquina do Lago at the end of the first sector, heading down the hill now into this middle sector. And as Phil said, very technical, very tricky, easy to lock up. Very easy to lose the rear as well on exit. And here comes Jack Pearson hanging it out through the high-speed right-hander, really working the downforce and working the aerodynamics on that Haas car. Sweeping down the hill then, picking up the throttle. Good line, yeah, Phil. He's doing well, isn't it?
It's going so far so good. All right, there was a Renault in the way. Get out the way just in time. Into the final corner now. He's got to get this right. This is flat out. So if you miss the apex here, he's done it.
Oh, he was 6 tenths up, Phil. Oh my goodness, 6 tenths up, and is that a title defining moment from Jack Pearson?
Oh, he did. That's exactly what I did yesterday. The carbon copy, absolute carbon copy. So easy to do. Does he have another lap in him? Is he going for another lap?
Yeah, he does. He's got 3.4 laps of fuel, so he should have time to go again. It needs to be good though from Jack Pearson. The pressure is mounting on the man from Hayward's Heath. He has to deliver. Owen Quimby's had enough. He will go no better than second. So what can Jack Pearson do? There is an open goal waiting for a football to be kicked through it. What will Jack Pearson do? What about Silent Assassin as well? He's on a lap too. Well, actually, watch Silent Assassin because he's further down the track, and then we'll go to Jack Pearson afterwards.
Facing backwards there. I didn't see that in the background.
Yeah, it was Joe Sayer. As long as it's not Jack Pearson's Haas, there's no major issues there. Joe Sayer, we've just gone 8th quickest. It's Silent Assassin leading from Owen Quimby, Jack Pearson, Bossman Sean, Chris Johnson, Dom Smith, Weiss, Joe Chiapelli, and Sir Lane is your top 10. 1.3 covering the top 10. 1.4, I should say. Here comes Silent Assassin then. Can't he go any quicker? He's currently fastest. What will happen here? It's a 198. Does he go any quicker? It's a 192. Great effort. What about Jack Pearson behind in the road? Can he snatch the pole away? No, but he can go second, which might be crucial.
Oh.
That's the end of his session. He goes second quickest. Bossman Sean will be the last man to start a flying lap. But crucially, Jack Pearson ahead of Owen Quimby, but Owen Quimby's done what he needs to do, and that is be in the top 3. Silent Assassin going again though. Can he? No, he's not. He's backing out of it.
As he'd be wise to back out of it. Save his tyres. Yep. He's got the pole. Oh, so then goes to third.
Oh, great effort from Sir Lane. So that is important then. That will encourage Jack Pearson and his Haas team.
And Chris Johnson
goes fourth. Well, pressure mounting on Owen Quimby. That's not what he would have wanted to be, right in the middle of the pack, and that is it. Everyone has finished their laps except Baza, who's coming into the pit. And Owen Quimby is only 5th quickest, but the only thing saving him here is Jack Pearson is not quickest. Phil, your thoughts on that qualifying session?
Well, great lap by Silent Assassin, 1:09.2. It's the quickest lap for both classes, but yesterday at TGP1 there was rain like from the get-go, so you couldn't get any lower than a mid 1 minute 9. So a great lap by Silent Assassin there. Jack Pearson, 2 laps on his tyres though, so that might come back to bite him in the race. But he'll be encouraged that Owen is 5th, and that is precisely where he wants Owen, with a couple of cars in between. So Owen's got to be very careful going into the opening stages of the race.
Yeah, you got to say though. Do you think Mercedes? Well, sorry, not Mercedes. But do you think Haas would be quite encouraged by this? I mean, okay, they're not on pole, but they've got a chance at victory, and also giving them hope, as you say, Phil. Owen down in the middle of the pack, not what he wants at all.
Well, you know, seeing that, it gives you more hope. It gives you more like encouragement to do better. So seeing your rival back there, it's like, oh yes, I can do this. So that's what Jack's got to feed on now. He would have liked it if Joe was a little bit higher to maybe put a bit more pressure on Owen, but you know, we'll see what the race brings. They've got to get around the first couple of corners, and Owen's in danger territory, let's say.
Yeah, he sure is. And Bossman Sean behind him in 6th place. That's not going to be easy for Owen. There's a lot of fast drivers there, but do you think he thought he had the top 3, top 4 in the bag at this time? Because at the end of the day, he's only just been beaten, Phil, by Sir Lane and Chris. It's not a big margin, so he must have thought he had a top 3 place in the bag not to go out again. That must have been his thinking. Do you think maybe?
Quite possibly, but it maybe like the track evolution must have caught him by surprise. Look, quite a lot of people improved in the end there. Sir Lane and Chris Johnson most notably. They jumped up pretty progressively, so he might have been caught out by the track evolution. Wasn't thinking it was that much, but yeah, clearly a mistake by his part.
Yeah, and Phil, I've got to ask you as well, is you were obviously driving yesterday in TGP1, so you're obviously quite clued up on this. Track evolution as a topic, how much track evolution would you say there is over the course of the 12-minute session? How many tenths, a couple of tenths do you think there is?
If the track temperature, I think, stays constant, definitely like 3 to 4 tenths perhaps, you know, if the track temperature stays constant. But you know, if there's an increase in track temperature, all of a sudden it could work either way, depending on the track temperature at the start of the race, or start of the session. If it's too high, if it gets any higher, it might be really bad for the tyres, and you can only get half a lap out of them. So it's yeah, it's definitely worked there though for them.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna back out of that so I don't get. Let me know when they're on the grid. For people who are watching, get involved using the hashtag TGP2. Thank you. Oh, is it? Oh my goodness.
There you go. Now that is serious disappointment for any Jack Pearson supporters. I know there isn't many because it's Jack Pearson. But that is serious disappointment for them, because Owen Quimby will be loving the wet conditions, Phil, won't he? He, as we said, touched on in qualifying, he loves it in the rain. So even from 5th place, he's got a chance. But we also see what happened to Sebastian Vettel when he tried to clinch one in the wet. As the lights go on and we get ready to go racing in Brazil, will Owen win the title today? As the lights go out at a soaking Sao Paulo, it's Silent Assassin leading for pole, Jack Pearson alongside on the run into turn 1, but it looks like it remains Silent Assassin. What about Owen Quimby? Is he getting through? Okay, the car wide, none of them collecting on though, crucially. They all harmlessly trundle across the runoff area, and Owen going side by side with Bossman Sean. He's lost a place from the start there, Phil. What about that?
Oh, so bad start from Owen. There's a few people off in the background. Red Bull Kim was off in the background. Jacko was struggling down in the back there. But Silent Assassin leaves Jackie's in seconds. And I don't think I've got sound.
That was interesting. I can tell you that Owen Quimby is now just overtaking Sir Lane. I think Bossman Sean went side by side with Sir Lane. We've got a spinning Force India further down the field, Phil.
Oh, yes. That? Oh, there's a bit of carnage in the background there. Oh, Dom. Oh, dear. Oh, where's he going? He's lost. He thinks he's now the man again. Dom, come on.
Not a good start for Dom Smith. A Silent Assassin back at the front leads the way from Jack Pearson in second, Chris Johnson third, Bossman Sean fourth. It was Bossman Sean going side by side with Sir Lane X, the 4 Sir Lane wide, opening the door for Owen Quimby back up into 5th place. But he needs to be third if Jack wins. But right now, Jack is not winning, and at the moment, the title is going to Owen Quimby.
Owen's right behind Bossman Sean. Is he making a move down the inside?
Here he goes to the inside, goes on Quimby. Bossman Sean defends to the inside. Owen Quimby outbreaks the Renault and takes the place and moves up into 4th. And the Hearts will thump down in the
it's a couple of cars off in the background there. Oh, there's Red Bull spinning at the centre S's.
Yep. Who was the Red Bull that went for a spin? Michael Kenny.
Yes.
Michael Kenny down to the back of the pack. Dom Smith recovers to 15th. We've got cars sliding everywhere in these intermediate conditions. Red Bull Kim having a slide. Jackal going side by side with Baza for 12th and 13th on the brakes. And it is Michael Kenny disqualified. Jackal going through on Baza. And Baza has got slight front wing damage to his car. He might need to come into the pits. But crucially for Owen, it was a good move. It was a tidy move, wasn't it?
It definitely was.
Phil up the inside.
Yeah, now he's hunting Chris Johnson. He's already onto the back of Chris Johnson. This is Owen's territory, these conditions. He absolutely loves. He's like a ballerina on that throttle pedal.
He loves the rain.
Here he goes.
He's going
to make the move. Oh, there's a force in spinning.
Who's that? That's Mike.
That's Mike Noon, isn't it? Oh, and a Renault sideways as well. Here comes Owen around the outside.
Let's have a look. Yep, he's going to try on Chris Johnson. Everyone else slipping and sliding. On Quimby's just dancing past a lot of them as if they're not there. He moves to the inside. He switches through. He does exactly what he did to Bossman Sean and easily outbreaks the man from Crew and moves up into 3rd, which is where he needs to be to win the world title.
Yep, that's exactly where he needs to be. He doesn't need to go any further. He'll probably want to gap Chris Johnson, or will Chris Johnson have a go back? He's having a look at it. No, he's going to back out of that.
Yep.
Mike picks up a 3-second time penalty.
And I have to, of course, I have to add as well, time penalties are not out of the question for anyone, so that could concern Owen Quimby as well, but surely now he's in the 3rd place he needs to be. He's in the ideal conditions, in his element really, for this World Championship.
Silent Assassin pulling away from Jack. Jack has no answer to Silent Assassin's pace at the moment up front.
And that just compounds the misery down at Haas, doesn't it?
Jose is up to 5th though. He's done really well. Made the most out of that.
He's doing a superb job as Jose.
He's up to 5 positions from his starting place. So
that's superb actually, isn't it? A great start from him. Jacko's up 6 as well to 10th position. But of course, a few of those guys that he's overtaken have run into trouble. So that's a great start from Jose. Wow.
I've got sound back. There we are.
There you go. He's got sound. That's what I like to hear. But Jose running in 5th place and looking quite racy actually, Phil. Looking quicker than Chris Johnson ahead of him.
He is. So he probably wants to set him up down into the next couple of corners, but you know, a good run through the for the technical middle sector. He might set him up for turn 1 at the start of the next lap. Let's see if he sticks with him here.
So Phil, other than the first corner and down here where we are now on the racetrack, is there anywhere else you really feel that you can overtake in extreme circumstances? I presume you feel here is the only other place.
If you set them up here, depending on your run you get, you can outbrake them going into this corner here. It's very difficult to do though. What you generally end up doing is going side by side for the next 3 corners, so it's not ideal for both of you. But if you do it, fair play to you. You know, you've got to be committed to it. I would rather just have a nice tidy middle sector inside. Oh, hey, there's a bit of action in front there. It's Jack and Owen, they're side by side.
Oh, the title contenders, Jack and Owen Quimby, side by side. Jack makes an error. Owen Quimby goes through the door, he pushes him wide and through.
Is this
ahead still? Sorry.
Is this deliberate by Jack? Is he slowing Owen down?
Is he backing him into? Well, he can't really slow down.
Is Jose?
Yeah, he's having a look. He's having a look at the back of Chris Johnson, but the problem is Jack can't slow down. If he slows down and backs on, Silent Assassin gets away.
He does. And it's not.
That's no use to Jack Pearson unless Owen Quimby finishes what, 8th, maybe 9th? 6th?
Yeah, Jack needs to win this. So I can't see that. The gap's 5, over 5 seconds now to Silent Assassin. So It's not looking good for Jack at the
Oh,
moment.
Quimby having a Jose, sorry, having a look at the inside of Chris Johnson. He nuffs the back of him and nearly goes for a spin down at turn 4. That was a bit heart and mouth stuff there. But Jack Pearson clearly has noticed he doesn't have the pace to match Silent Assassin, so he now is trying to back 1, 2, 3 cars up to try and stop Owen. But Owen needs more cars than that in the train. He really does.
There's Jack Chandler's
he's
cut the grass, that's it. He's off.
That's the title there and gone. Owen Quimby goes through up into second place, and look at the Mercedes guys, they're on their feet, and surely now the title in TGP2 is heading to Owen Quimby and Mercedes. Well, Jack just too busy looking in his mirrors, wasn't he?
Oh, he clearly caught the grass on the outside. He went Tokyo Drift style. It's not helped him out. Jose once again looking at the back of Chris Johnson. However, it's the Haas boys are a bit depressed at the moment. Here comes Joe around the outside. Can he do it?
That would be very impressive, and that is impressive. Oh,
lovely.
That.
Oh,
Right, that deserves a round of applause. That's a beautiful move, Phil.
Chris is coming back. He's trying to do a Max Verstappen. Can he send one down the inside? He's going to be late on the brakes. He's there. He's not as daring as Jose. So Jose, great move by Jose. The legend that is Jose. He's on for another good race at the moment. Perhaps the podium, but he's probably going to be staying behind Jack, I'd imagine. Team orders.
Yeah, I would think so. The problem, Jack's been a mess at this race because I think if he could have won this race today, Jack Pearson, I think Jose might have had an answer for Owen Quimby, you know.
Yeah, possibly, but well, let's see if Owen can catch Silent Assassin. You know how good he is in the wet. So caps 5.5 at the moment. Give it a few laps, see if that comes back down. Is there any other battles going through the field at the moment? Bossman Sean, yes.
Right behind Chris Johnson, and this is going to be quite interesting as they climb the hill. Bossman Sean tucked it behind him. I don't see any change in the weather at the moment looking from a commentary box, but I know it looks like these intermediate conditions will remain for now as Bossman Sean gets very wide and takes a bit of the grass with them as well. And in damp conditions we've seen a few cars crash up there, and usually when they crash it's absolutely huge. And Bossman Sean has a look up the inside, a look, a tease, and then it's more than that, but no, there's no way through. Chris stays ahead.
Boy, can he get the run? Oh, a bit of a twitch there.
He will get the run. Chris went wide, he should get the run.
Oh, here he goes, on the outside.
Verstappen-esque. Oh, no way through.
I've just noticed
they're
running number 1 on his... have they added the number 1 in?
Oh, is he running number 1? Who's running number 1?
He is. Bossman, on my screen, he's running number 1.
I'll have a look. Oh! He was almost running it against the barrier, he's number 1. Goodness me. What a slide that is for Bossman Sean. Nearly collected the barrier there and planted his nose cone with the number 1 on it in the wall. And thankfully he picks it up and gets on with it, although he might need to change his pants. I might have to announce that. That was pretty extreme there from Bossman Sean.
That's allowed Selene to get within half a second of him. So can he take advantage of that? But if you use a wider line there in the wet, that does give you grip. Probably not in this game, no. But in real life, that would definitely give you more grip around hanging around the outside there. So coming out in the starfish, yeah, Selene's lost a lot of time coming out to the track again. Bossman Sean using the grass.
Pushing the limits, isn't he, of what's acceptable, really, before he ends up with that Renault pacer against the barrier. Look at the straight line speed Selene's got. He's having a look up the inside, for goodness sake. And Bossman Sean nearly has to get defensive. And Selene looking pretty racy. And as you called it in qualifying, Phil, the best place for the racing is in turn 1. If you don't do it there, you can do it in turn 3 or 4. And here we go, side by side, and through goes Selene. Look at the straight line speed.
Oh my goodness.
And through goes the Ferrari. And is he hanging it out? Yeah, he's hanging it out.
He's trying to, he's off the circuit though.
Pushed wide, and there's no way through for Bossman Sean. He dropped to 7th. And from looking at the back of Chris Johnson, he's now looking at the back of Selene, who's just overtaking him. I'm afraid we don't have live for title odds, but we do have title odds that are coming out at the start of the race. Owen to win the title, the odds were suspended because it was that certain because of the wet conditions. Jack to win the title. This is betnoon.com, by the way, sponsors of Sayre Sports. Jack to win the title was 10 to 1 if you fancy a flitter. I imagine it's a lot higher on the site now because he's now in 3rd place behind Owen Quimby. Dom Poland United Arab Emirates Phil, that's next up. Is that
Oh,
going to
hey,
happen?
oh.
5 to 2 as Bossman Sean
Again?
finally does what he's been threatening to do and
Oh
spins it
dear.
properly.
Oh, he's spun at Junch out. Classic.
Yep, and through goes Weiss, and they might have
Oh,
Jackson going past him as well.
I think the tyres are
Oh,
gone. It's lap 8. I think the tyres are starting to go. Some of them are going to have to start pitting soon, or thinking about pit stops anyway.
Maybe. Back at the front, Phil. Owen Quimby's the gap's going up to a Silent Assassin. Okay, 5.8 now, but Jack Pearson is closed from 2.2 seconds to 1.5. Owen's either made a mistake or Jack's picked up the pace. One of the two. Can Jack get back at Owen? What do you think, Phil? Do you think it's a tall order given Owen so quick in these conditions?
I think it is. I think Owens either actually doesn't have the pace of Silent Assassin, or he's just thinking, you know what, second will do. I'll just monitor the gap to Jack. That's all he has to do, really. He doesn't have to risk anything. So Bossman Sean has retired.
That was coming.
Has he binned it? Oh my goodness,
yeah,
he's made a mess of that.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That might be a new gearbox as well. Left rear folded up onto the engine cover.
Will that bring out a safety car, I wonder? Now that would spice things up a bit. We'll probably see an influx of it. Silent Assassin's in the pits.
Silent Assassin makes the call for the pits as Bossman Sean retires. He does love a retirement. And Silent Assassin reaches the pips box and puts on another set of intermediates, crucially, Phil Bartwell. So
yes.
It's not going to improve. They obviously feel down there at Ferrari that the rain will remain.
Chris Johnson also in the pits. So then also in the pits as well. So if you take it, it's the midway point. So logically, this makes sense just to get the tyres safely home if it stays. The weather stays the same, which by the looks of it, it is doing so. So at the moment we've got Owen first, Jack second, and Joe third. So both the Haas boys haven't pitted yet.
Yeah, there's one dilemma to be had here, Phil. And that is, do you pit for a fresh set of inters?
Or do you gamble?
Jack Pearson and Joe Sayer, do you just stay out there and try and keep the track position ahead of Owen Quimby? I mean, that looks like the only ball left to throw.
Yeah, well,
but the problem is, if Owen Quimby stays out, then that's it.
I've always heard the old adage, like, if you're fighting with a title rival, you, in terms of tyres and strategy, you do exactly the same as your title rival. However, the things as they are, I think the Haas boys have to go for glory here. So Jack is pitting.
Jack Pearson coming in. Jack Pearson comes into the pits then, and Joe Sayer will stay out. Will they try and keep Joe out? Well, they split it. We'll see what they do. But Jack Pearson feels he needs to come in for a new set of inters. What will Owen Quimby do then? Will that force him to stay out to the end of the race to avoid an undercut? Or will it not? We'll find out.
I think Owen will just play the sensible card and pit the next lap. He's got to, really, just to be sensible. With Joe, however, has throw the gamble. Jack's lost part of his front wing coming out the pits. Oh dear me.
That's it now. Mistakes like that decide championships, and Jack Pearson might just have lost it there. He's crashing now against the pit lane exit wall.
Dear.
And that is a Jack Pearson bottle job.
Safety car!
Played out. And we got a safety car, and that could save the day.
Saved him.
Oh, it might not have, because Owen Quimby is going to gain rapidly from this safety car, is he not?
Well, if they pit now, Owen will probably gain on Silent Assassin. However, if you're Haas, do you keep Joe out?
That might be a shout, actually.
That is, you've got to go for it, haven't you? Joe's got to be a sacrificial lamb here. You've got to keep Joe out.
But we don't know how bad his tyres are. That's the issue. If the tyres are that bad that he's going to get a puncture anyway, he might have to pit. We'll see what he does, though.
Let's see what Owen does. Owen pits.
Owen pits.
Crucially, what does Joe do?
He's Joe Sayer feels he has to pit.
Oh, okay.
No choice. Silent Assassin, though, that's who we need to watch. Obviously going to the Delta.
So Silent Assassin
and
versus
Owen. The lead.
Owen's leaving the pit box now, and Silent Assassin he should be ahead. Silent Assassin.
Yep. Weiss is going to carry on. No, he's not going to come in. Jack Pearson needs to pit. He has to pit. He's going to be right down the order now, though, as a result.
The soft cop has said, I said Jack would bottle it.
Well, I hope you had your money on it, betting.com. That's all I can say. Oh, by the way, for anyone that did back a Mike Noon bottle job at Evans, it has come in after his spin earlier on. We've already paid out on that. So the Mike Noon bottle job has been paid out on his own bet site. Goodness me. And by the way, with Joe behind Owen on the road, now with under safety car, it is 4-3 for Joe to take Jack out to win the title. Sorry, that's the wrong way around. For Joe, why did Joe take Jack out to own the title? Oh, because it's Jack. Fair enough, because it's Jack. Yeah, I'm putting money on that. Anyone that backs Sean to win at 5-1, well, forget it. You might as well close your bet account because he's in the wall. Baz a top 5 in United Arab Emirates. We'll worry about that when it comes round. Waz a top 5 as well. Looker to win 1,000-1 if you fancy a flutter. And added in at the bottom by Matt Thurgood, and I like this one. Own to get laid ever again, 1,000-1. So they win the title tonight. If they're on to get laid again, it's 1,000-1.
Well, his chances must be cut in half when he's champion.
If he's champion, well, we'll see. I think he'd have fared better if he was crowned champion in Abu Dhabi. I think it was there. Yeah, but you know, he's probably more likely to get mugged here. But okay. Anyway, 1,000-1 if you fancy that. Flutter on Quimby to get laid again, ever again. So feel free to get your bets in. In fact, I'm already noticing quite a few bets being made for that. So quite good to see. Anyway, lap 13 out of 18 as we move aside from Owen's sexual life. Silent Assassin leads the way with Owen Quimby in second. Owen only needs a top 3 finish, remember, to seal the title regardless of what Jack Pearson does, and what Jack Pearson's doing is not good enough at the moment anyway. Joe Sayre is third, trying to help his teammate out, but he's outshining his teammate in fact. Chris Johnson is fourth with Jacko in fifth. He's up 11 places now, Phil.
Oh, fair play, Jacko. Good race so far. Probably.
Has he pitted yet?
Yeah,
no, he's not pitted.
He's not pitted. Okay.
So that explains that one.
Yeah, so is he gambling and just staying out there the whole time?
Either that is hoping it dries out. Don't know what's going on. We'll see. But Jacko is fifth. Salane is down 3 to 6. Weiss is up to 7th from his starting place of 9th. Jack Pearson down 6, not where he needed at all, to 8th position. Dom Smith is 9th as the pack bunches back up. Tennis will be 10th. We all love tennis. Chiapelli 11th, and the other McLaren behind tennis, and Baza is 12th. Mike Noon 13th. We've already paid out, remember, on his bottle job. Red Bull Cam is 14th. We had Bossman Sean in the wall, and Michael Kenny got disqualified for an unknown reason, probably for supporting Blackburn Rovers. Anyway.
Well, Dom has caught back up the field despite his trip to the Isle of Man early in the race.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll get involved with Jack Pearson. He likes a bit of controversy, does our Dom Smith here?
He sure does. As we get ready to go racing again, will Dom get involved with Jack Pearson? Will Owen drop down with a spin or something like that, or some contact? That's what's needed, really, for Jack Pearson to have any hope. They are coming in, and Silent Assassin drops the throttle for the remaining 5 laps of the Brazilian Grand Prix, and in those 5 laps we'll find out if Owen Quimby will be crowned champion here today of TGP2 across the line. Silent Assassin leads into turn 1, Owen Quimby second, right behind him as well. What about Jack Pearson? He's trying to fight Weiss, he's going to go ahead.
Weiss is off. Careful, coming back on. Jack!
Careful, Weiss.
Oh, Jack
goes past Weiss.
Jack finding it in Max Verstappen.
And he's done it.
Oh, wow.
Up to 6th. Now, is it still alive? Is it still alive for the Haas team?
Is he inspired?
Well, if Joe can get past on and Jack can get up there as well, it is on. But remember, that's not to win the title, that's just to keep it alive to Abu Dhabi, for goodness sake. Silent Assassin leading the way, Owen Quimby in second, Joe Sayre is third, and Chris Johnson is fourth, with Jacko fifth and Jack Pearson sixth. We have to go with Jack Pearson at the moment. He looks like the man on the move. Can he dispatch Jacko quickly? And Phil, I think it'd be fair to say he has to do it quickly, doesn't he?
He has to. It has to be the first opportunity if Jack has any opportunity.
This is their first opportunity. Will he have a look up the inside? He's too far back. Not quite.
Not quite. He's got
Jacko
to do it in turn 1.
This is it now. Can't get past Jacko. Remember, Owen Quimby's teammate. He's not going to make it easy.
Here we go. Here we go.
To the inside. The back end squirming on the Haas car. He always pushes him off the track. They go side by side across the line. Silent Assassin, new fastest lap, and Jack Pearson is through, up into 5th place. Owen is down to 3rd because Joe Sayre is gone.
What's happened
my
there?
goodness.
We've missed that.
I don't know. but this is a bottle job from Owen Quimby. Joe Sayer doing the job for Haas, flying the flag for his team, and unfortunately his teammate is bottling it. Jack Pearson, get a move on. You're 2 places away from keeping this alive, and Joe Sayer is doing his utmost to help his teammate. He's almost doing it as well as Tom Smith did it. Remember that one? When he was trying to help out Chris Johnson, only to screw him over in Abu Dhabi. Well, Joe Sayer is doing it as well here. He's ahead of Owen Quimby. And now Chris Johnson's in the tail of Owen Quimby. Well, maybe we do have a race in our hands, Phil.
Oh, well, Joe Sayer's he's got to slow the pace down somehow enough, a little bit more to help Jack catch up there. Well, no, Joe can do it, so he's got to drive the widest Haas in the world. And Owen's not close enough at the moment, so Jack's not close enough to Chris Johnson either, though, so he needs...
Joe needs to get on the brakes. Joe needs to get on the brakes, doesn't he, Phil?
He does, yes. Joe needs to slow the pace down by about half a second, probably.
Maybe even more. He's running out of laps here, only at 3 laps. He needs to get it right down if he wants to help his teammate. Because Chris is not really gaining on Owen. There's 1.5 seconds between them. Between Owen and Chris. So Jack either has to get a move on and dispatch Joe. Sorry, Jack needs to dispatch Chris, or Joe needs to hit the brakes. One of the two.
Just looking a bit further down the field. Mike's right on the back of Weiss there. Squirreling through the turn 3 section there.
We need to remember though, even if Jack does finish third, that would mean Owen would need to finish what? Oh, if Jack finishes second, Owen would need to finish 7th, so it's all well and good having Jack, he can get down to 5th in his mirrors, but he needs to get Jacko and Sir Lane in the mirrors as well, and Joe Sayer has got to put the anchors on, and unfortunately he's not doing it for his teammate, and it's probably because it's worthless.
If you think of it the other way, Jacko's doing a great job for Owen. He's the next car behind, and there's already a massive gap between him and Jack Pearson, which is, for Jack to have any chance, is not what he needs.
Yeah, he's always, I think maybe even Jacko's deliberately opening that gap.
And Jack Pearson's right, and Chris Johnson's going on the outside.
He's going to do it, and this might be a bit late. Oh, and Chris is, wow, in the wall.
He's dear. Oh, dear me.
I think it was. That doesn't help Jack at all, the fact that Chris is out. Sir Lane now going side by side with Jacko into turn 1. Is Sir Lane going to go past him? He is. So Jack Pearson is the next car behind Owen. Owen is up behind Joe as well. Is Owen going to try and kill it here and now? Kill it stone dead on Joe Sayer. It doesn't look likely though.
Owen just, I think Owen's got the job done, unless he has an engine failure, which
doesn't look likely. He doesn't need to get racy with Joe Sayer, but will he? And Joe's hitting the brakes, you can tell it now, he certainly is now. He's crawling round to try and get Jack onto the tail. And Jack just doesn't have the pace.
However, you know, if Owen maybe does a Chris Johnson hits the wall, that could... Ooh. I don't want to say it.
Silent Assassin leads out. He's about to start his final lap. Joe Sayer second, Owen Quimby third. It's agonising. It's pressuring for Owen Quimby, but he's doing enough. Even with his title rival directly behind him, that's all he needs though. As long as his title rival isn't winning this, it's all good. Owen Quimby is in the 3rd place he needs. Joe Sayer is in 2nd, but does Owen fancy a final flourish here? He tries to the outside. He'll now get the better exit when he comes out of the centre S.
Oh, Joe's very wide.
Makes an error. This is it then. Owen Quimby can smell blood. Can he smell the World Championship? Closing in on him. Joe goes defensive to the inside, but I don't think Owen's too bothered. Joe is dangling the candy from the stick, but at the moment, Owen Quimby is not taking it, is he, Phil?
No, he doesn't need to. Red Bull Kim's retired.
Yeah, he has. And here we go then, in Brazil. Silent Assassin looks like he's going to win it. Owen Quimby looks like he's going to win the title. Even with his Jack Pearson now right behind him. Look at Joe slowing it up. Trying everything in his power. But Jack Pearson has let himself down today. Joe Sayer is
you got to say it. Joe Sayer, star of the day so far. He's done absolutely everything right.
driver of the day, absolutely. Especially apart from his qualifying position, everything else has been absolutely immaculate. But let's forget that for now. Silent Assassin will cross the line to win this race. Phil, when he crosses the line, just skip it before he crosses the line. Skip off the camera.
Done it.
Silent Assassin wins here in Brazil, but crucially coming across the line in third, Owen Quimby wins the TGP2 world title with third place, which is exactly what he needed. It's a brilliant drive. He does it one race before the end. Jack Pearson let the side down by not winning here today, and that opened the door for Owen Quimby. He needed third, and he got third to win the title. What an effort, what a season. The Mercedes team are celebrating. They have won brilliantly the World Championship, but the constructors goes on to Abu Dhabi, because look at that, Joe and Jack second and fourth.
Good points for them, definitely. And Jacko only finished in seventh. Dom Smith, decent recovery drive actually, back up to sixth place there.
Yep, I think that now pretty much rules out any chances of Haas. Sorry, not Haas. Force India lifting the constructors' crown. But it's congratulations to Owen Quimby. So many drivers in the past have won the World Championship in Brazil, and it's only fitting, Phil, you have to say, to win the title at a track so famous as opposed to the new circuits like Abu Dhabi, isn't it?
Absolutely. The atmosphere at Brazil is it is definitely the place to win it. It should be the finale, but he'll be glad to have won it there. Now he can enjoy Abu Dhabi. However, the team will want him to get back into the race winning mode, because there's still a team prize up for grabs.
The constructors, of course, can they do the double? Can the Haas team, or sorry, not the Haas team, the Mercedes team complete the double? Jacko's 7th place earned him 6 points. Owen Quimby, of course, earned himself 15, so they got 21 altogether. Joe Sayer got 18 and Jack got 12, so they got 30, I think. Yep. So that means the gap closes down to 11 points.
You are using the Joe Sayer point system, aren't you?
Oh, no, I don't use the Joe Pitt. Is that actually in force?
I think it is, yeah. I'm sure it is in force.
Oh my god.
See, blame him. I've always said it's rubbish. I said it live on air now as well.
Phil, I'm going to have to leave the stream after that. No, I'm finished. the Joe Sayer, right, okay. Well, Joe or Dom, if you're watching the stream, calculate the standings, for goodness sake. What the hell? No, the cat. Oh, I don't even know what to say to this.
See, Joe, you've ruined it. You've ruined it.
Good God.
Right, okay, so 25, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's your points.
Sorry, what?
25, 8, so I think the top 5, 6 are the same. 25, 18, 15, 12, 10.
And then it gets stupid.
And it's 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Goodness gracious.
So I think the gap's down to 11 points though between the top two.
Yeah, I think it's 11. So we now go on, Phil, to the next one in Abu Dhabi. Owen Quimby, world champion. He must be delighted, of course.
He'll want the double though. You want the double for pride.
No, you do, of course. You want a double. Jack Pearson and Joe Sayer will try and thwart them, and of course, Phil, given the Joe Sayer pace we've seen there's every possibility that they could outscore them with those 11 points. But Jack Pearson needs to up his game, though, doesn't he?
He does. Jack needs to get that out of his system very quickly. Forget about it, and now go again. Joe Sayer just continue the momentum he's carrying. He drove a superb race, did absolutely everything he could. So he'll be on a high going into the next round. Owen, I'm sure he'll kick it up a gear. He's probably just been a bit defensive, so it's definitely interesting. And we'll see what Jacko needs to. He got some points in the last round, but he was struggling to keep pace at the end. So it's still all to play for in the team's title.
And I'll tell you something else, which is a bit silly, but if the two Mercedes cars don't score points, and the two Haas cars don't score points, and Force India got a 1-2, Force India will win the World Championship by 1 point. So there you go, Phil.
Is that
It
possible
is-
though, under the Jose point system? Because all you have to do is
Oh,
turn
for
up
goodness
and
sake.
be in 12th, and you get a point. You don't even have to finish. Isn't that
I'll
right,
have to
Joe?
retire. Joe, your point system is a disgrace. If you're listening, I'm slating your point system live on air. I'm not having it. I cannot believe you genuinely implemented this point system. Oh my goodness.
Well, to us, he wanted. This is only the toned down version. He wanted the whole field to get points.
Joe.
Sorry, Joe. I'll call you out on this.
Imagine wanting that entire field to score. I mean, that's just crazy.
I've always said, like, you only score points if you finish the race. So had what you said happened, if all 4 of them cars retired, they would score 0 points unless they did 90% of race distance.
Like, oh, there's their fault. Look, Joe wanted the top 14.
That
They said in the chat. The top 14. The top 14 is everyone, Joe. There was 14 here.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Joe. I didn't know it's called MotoGP.
For goodness sake. Goodness sake. Well, there you go. It's 25 for a win, 18 for second, 15 for third. It's 12 for fourth. It's 10 for fifth, and then it gets well, not yet. It gets you get 8 for sixth, and you get 6 for seventh. Oh, this is going to get complex. Then from then on it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 point down to 12th place. But yeah.
I think maybe after the Abu Dhabi race, we'll interview Owen. He's bringing out a new helmet for the Abu Dhabi race, so we'll look out for that.
Well, we will look out for that. I wonder if it's a championship edition, a title-winning edition. Most likely, I would think. But yeah, congratulations to Owen Quimby on his title,
Okay,
and hopefully there'll be more to come.
I'm just gonna press the PS button. So if you do want to get involved, hashtag TGP2, hashtag Owen is the champ. You know, get involved, people. Bring in some questions for us to answer. We'll answer them as best we can. And I just want to give a shout out. Me and Paul, TG1 Constructors title. Yeah, boy. Paul brought it home yesterday. I had a shocker. Oh god. I'm not a fan of the circuit. Like it does need changing. The whole setting, as in, you know, the start at sunset, finish in the dark. You know, that's unique. Quite like that. I don't mind that at all. But the circuit, it needs something. It's lacking authentic overtakes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Phil, you can now unskip. You can now come back into it. We're in the pit
I am
lane
back in now.
Yeah. But yes, Phil. I've got to ask you as well. I mean, whereabouts would you change? Like, if you were Herman Tilke, or who would want to be Herman Tilke? But you know what I mean. If you were not Herman Tilke, you were a designer that actually knew what he was doing. What would you change on this track?
To be honest, I probably wouldn't have this track. I'd move away from the desert. Bring back Istanbul. Bring back Turkey.
Okay, fair. I'll rephrase the question. What if you were the designer? What if you were the designer that had to come in and fix this mess? What would you do?
I would definitely the last sector, because from what I seem to remember, is they've got the last sector going up to basically the marina, and then they have to drive around the marina. So why don't they just cut a little bit off and add a few more corners into that with potential overtaking places? You know, they could still go under the hotel potentially, but you know, use it as a different way. Maybe have a faster run in, so it's you can have a late break and lunch into the hotel section. That'd be something, you know. It just needs that last
Yeah,
sector
that would
needs
be
changing
good.
though. It doesn't have to have that second long straight after the first one. You could shorten that and make him turn off left and have a bit more of an infield.
Or do you think maybe then if you come down into the end of that braking zone, maybe even shorten the lap extremely and create
Well,
a
that's-
short
yeah.
straight from...
Yeah, so at the moment I'm riding on board with Mr. Chiapelli, so we'll use him as an example. So we're coming into this sector. This is fine. The first sector, I don't mind. It's, you know, coming into here, this is fine. But after this section, you know, maybe a little straight here, and then at some point turn left like there.
And then head in a straight line, maybe down towards the hotel point, maybe even, and create a overtaking zone.
Possibly, yes.
That would be ideal.
You know, they don't need this bit. They're just using it for mileage. You know, they could shorten the circuit. It'd still be a fairly decent sized lap. They can add a few more laps into it. You know, so that's what I would do. What would you do? I'm gonna throw the question back at you.
Oh, it's an interesting one actually, because I do think that I don't think it needs to change hugely to improve overtaking. I think the first sector's superb. I think the first sector is fantastic.
I agree with you there.
After that, it doesn't. It's not great. But maybe even I don't know. At the end of the second straight, not making it a triple chicane, making it a full-on hairpin, a bigger, deeper braking zone would help.
Oh dear. Joe's left the session.
Oh, I've lost Joe there.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's a shame.
Riding on board with Owen and his new helmet. Oh dear. Oh, Owen.
Is it pink?
It's pink. It's yellow. It's Sasha Banks.
Oh, goodness sake. Okay, on. Okay. Well, I'm not
fair
riding on board
play
with you
to
anymore.
that. He's got the colours bang on, so I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, but I'm not riding on board with him again. That's it. No more. Right, Mr. Chiapelli on top of it at the moment. We get to see any flying laps with 8.5 minutes to go. I wonder who the tip for pole would be here, Phil. I imagine Silent Assassin would be quick again.
I think
I would also think Jack Pearson. I think Jack Pearson will be quite quick around here because I think he realises coming into this weekend or coming into this double header that he needed to be quick in both Brazil and here. So I think he'd have practiced well for both. And maybe on quite a bit less so here. I think maybe he was going to be focusing on stealing it in Brazil and then not worrying about here. Do you think that's a fair thing to say as we lose Chiapelli?
Yeah, you might have a fair point there. Oh god, so there's another horse session gone there. Mike's left us. Oh dear.
Oh, not good. Tom Smith's gone as well.
Oh, are we about to go moving? Jack's left.
Have we disconnected?
I think Owen's left. We're going to answer that question in the next part. Session restarting. So sorry, folks, bear with us. Some technical difficulties here in Abu Dhabi. They forgot to turn the floodlights on.
There will be a session restart, so we will see you for the session restart in a few moments' time.
Yeah. Whilst we're having this little break, though, let's get back to discussing. So, if you are watching the stream, what would you change about the Abu Dhabi circuit, or would you change it even?
Good one to open out to the floor, Phil. Good one to open out. But yeah, that's what I was thinking anyway, Phil. I think a tighter hairpin down at the end of the second straight potentially would help. Maybe open up that chicane at the end of the first one a bit more to promote a better run out of the corner. It's difficult. I mean, I'm no track designer, but I'm also better than Herman Tilker. But you know, if you know what I mean. But I think we all are, to be fair. Okay, as you said, he did do a good job of Istanbul, but I mean, that's about it, really, isn't it?
Did he design Malaysia, Sepang, as well? I
think so. Malaysia, we'll give Malaysia a bit of credit as well.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Sorry, Herman. Sorry, Herman, if you're watching.
Loud Aspire says, get rid of it. I'm assuming he means the Jose point system. We agree. Don't worry, we all agree.
Well, if I had the choice between getting rid of Abu Dhabi or the Joe Sayer point system, I'd get rid of the Joe Sayer point system. That's how bad it is. Are we in agreement?
I'm fully agreed with that.
Okay, Phil, what about this one? Would you rather get rid of Nürburgring or would you rather get rid of Joe Sayer point system?
Now, I knew this question was come up, and believe it or not, I would still rather get rid of the Joe Sayer point system.
Oh, dramatic!
And for people who don't know me, I despise the Nürburgring, the Nordschleife. I'm not going to say the other word. The worst circuit ever.
I don't know why you could possibly say that.
Oh, Lord Aspire meant get rid of Abu Dhabi completely.
I'm on a mistake.
Oh, hey, up. We've got Rosalia, everyone.
We're in the commentary box. We're in the commentary box. It's TGP2. Tony Clemby's just won the world title, and now you're wanting to get involved.
Hi, Rosalia.
Please, Mum. Please, could you get out of the commentary box, please? Could you get out of the commentary box, please?
Andrew, you're having a steak.
Yes, I'm having a steak, but we're commentating at the moment.
When are you having a steak?
40 minutes. Mum, before you go, could you come here? Could you come here? Come here. Come here. Could you speak into the mic and speak at the mic? Who will win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix? There's a good selection of drivers there.
Who will win?
Look at those names.
Jack Pearson, 93.
Oh no.
Team has possibility.
Oh no.
Who's Joe S, 93?
Oh, Joe Sayer.
Mr. Chiapelli.
Mr.
Chiapelli. Who's he?
Do you fancy him?
Guess Phil. Phil!
Andy, did you pick Spectator, by the way? Good lad. Good lad. Are we able to go back live now? I've skipped the Loud Aspire did say get rid of Abu Dhabi by not the Jose point system. Okay, yeah, so Loud Aspire, would you rather get rid of the Jose point system or the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix? You can only pick one. Can we get in now? Oh my. Okay, here we go.
Welcome along, folks. We have a restarted qualifying session here in Abu Dhabi due to technical issues with multiple disconnections. The grid are all set, 15 runners ready for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Owen Quimby lifting the title last in Abu Dhabi with the Constructors' Championship firmly in the balance. Rosalia, my mother, thinks Baza will win this Grand Prix. I think that's a lengthy, long bet. No disrespect, Baza, but I cannot see you winning it, mate. But I mean, best of luck. If you get the result, you get the result. And that would be a good result for him. But, Phil, Joe, a good run of form. Jack Pearson, not so. But has closed in last time out, and the constructors, can they complete the job, complete that 11-point advantage here today?
They might have the slight advantage. Jacko would need to perform slightly better to give Mercedes a bit more hope. So it's still in the balance. And I do have not a question here, but more of a statement that I'm going to tell him off anyway. He's from Dom Smith, enjoying the stream. He has a question: can I have that £5 back now? Dom, you haven't given me the £5 yet. You still owe me that.
Oh well, there's that debate about £5. Propping up again. Just remind us, Phil, why that one is.
So the £5 bet during our TGP Dirt rally season, me and Dom had a gentleman's wager that whoever beat one another in the driver standings would win £5. Dom got cocky at the beginning of the season because he beat me twice, but then my masterclass came in. I got a few podiums, kicked his ass, and it's now 8 months, come up to a year, that he still hasn't paid me said £5.
Well, that's slightly disappointing, and I don't see why we'd be getting that £5 back. I really don't see it. But how about we invest £5 into the scrapping of the Joe Sayer point system? That would be a good idea.
Now, I would be all up for that, but I'm not wasting £5 of my pounds to scrap that. It should just be scrapped for everyone's sake, to be honest.
Well, of course, Alex Vux is your man you need to talk to in the GDPA, or the GPDA, or the Grand Prix Drivers Association. I've seen that all the drivers in the paddock signed up to that today, Phil. So maybe all the TGP drivers will sign up to battle against the Joe Sayer point system. I've just noticed actually that Tennis's driver number is 69. Oh, Tennis. Oh, Tennis, never change. Never change, Tennis. Never change. What a guy.
So I'm riding on board of Jack Pearson at the moment, starting his lap as he climbs up through the gears into 8th gear, going into first DRS straight, coming into the hard braking of the first chicane, braking just for 100 metres at the 100 metre board. Oh, not a curve there.
Yeah, Jack Pearson, he does like taking the curve. He loves riding right over the top of them, and he's pushing hard. Here's my tip for Paul today, Phil. My mum's going for Baza, I'm going for Jack, and you are going for Silent Assassin to go back to back on the pole position front, and maybe you can get a victory again, Phil.
Yeah, I'm going to say Silent Assassin. Jack is a scruffy sector in the chicane there, and he's wide off the scruffy lap.
Not a great lap from Jack Pearson. We'll see how he goes then as he heads into the final part of the lap. Down the gears, through the hotel section. What can Jack Pearson do as he heads now into the final part? The two right-handers, two identical right-handers at the end of the lap. Jack Pearson, 1 corner to go. It's Bossman Sean, it's the first representative time, a 38 flat. What has Jack Pearson got in his locker? Tom Smith, 39.6. Jack Pearson, 37.9, goes quickest. Just a tenth quicker than Bossman Sean. Giapelli goes for 139.9.
Silent Assassin across the line.
And he's only third.
Oh.
38.1, so Jack Pearson on it at the moment. Jacko, 140.1. So Jack Pearson doing the job for his team at the moment. Jacko not doing the job for his team at the moment. And we got somebody out, and it's Tennis in the pit lane wall.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm sorry for laughing.
Oh, Tennis. Well, Tennis, he's in a 69 with the pit lane wall, I think. Oh dear. That's not what he really intended, but Tennis is out of the Grand Prix.
Is that Michael Kenny in the Red Bull there?
Sorry, yeah. What about him? Sorry, Phil. What about him?
He wasn't in the last race, was he? He made an appearance for the second race.
No, he was here, but he didn't last very long.
Okay.
He disqualified turn 1, remember?
Oh yes, he did. Yes.
He crosses the line and goes 10th of 10. Does Michael Kenny with 10 runners? He goes 10th quickest.
Jack Pearson's time is still the quickest. I'm amazed at that. It was so scruffy in the second chicane there.
Marginally quicker than Owen Quimby. He's got some time in his pocket, maybe. Well, yes. I'm interested to see what Joe does. He's only 8. That's pretty poor from Joe Sayer. 39.6. But look at that. I mean, he only needs to find a half second to get himself in the top 4. What can Joe Sayer do? This is quite important then. Let's ride on board
Oh, Jack's done another lap.
Jack's gone and gone quicker, 37.5. We expected him to go quicker given, as you say, Phil, how scruffy it was. Jack Pearson to the top for Haas. He may not have delivered in Brazil, but he's delivering now for his team at the very least, if not himself. Joe Sayer needs to lift this game. Currently 8th quickest. Can he really put the pressure on the Mercedes team? Phil, if you called it now, would you go for Mercedes or would you go for Haas? I know at the start of the double header you said you would go for Mercedes. What about now?
I'm still going to say Mercedes at the moment. Joe's not in a good enough point scoring position.
He's 3/10 up at the moment, Phil, so he's heading towards 6th place. With Jacko down in 10th, this is favourable. On the back foot, 4/10 away from Jack Pearson. What can Joe do? This is crucial for the Haas team to win the Constructors' Championship. Looking pretty good through the final part of the lap, Phil. He's doing all the apexes, not as scruffy as Jack Pearson was, I'll tell you that much.
Nice and tidy, yeah, so far so good. And he nailed the final 2 corners.
Into the final couple, blink you'll miss it. Here comes Joe Sayer. What is he going to do? Can he go any quicker than his current P8 and lift his spirits? Oh, he can, he's 5th. 38.9. That might be the best he'll get because he's 8/10 away from the next car, but that's crucial. That is absolutely crucial, especially with Jacko only 10. What do you think about that now, Phil? Do you change your mind a bit? Or are you still going Mercedes?
I'm still going to go Mercedes. However, it's got very interesting. But I think both the Haas boys have done 2 laps on the ultra soft tyres here, and they wear incredibly badly here. So the undercut would definitely work, but they'll be struggling on tyres towards the end of the race. So Joe probably needs to get a move on, get back to the pits, put another set of ultra softs on, and go again, get another lap in, as does Jack Pearson. So if I was Joe, I wouldn't back off too much and get back to the pits as quickly as possible.
Yep, he sure does. He needs to get another lap in, fresh set of tyres, as you say. It would be very important. So, Joe Sayer, 5th quickest at the moment. Who else we got out there on a lap? Postman's on an out lap.
Mike Noon on an out lap. We haven't talked anything about Mike Noon and his Bet Noon company. They did pay out dramatically last time. Probably a bit of a inside job though. Mr. Noon.
Yeah. Probably put the bet on himself and took his own money back. About a money laundering to avoid tax, you think, Phil?
Quite possibly, yeah. And claim he had nothing to do with it and he didn't put the bet on. Yeah, we know how you work, Mike.
Classic estate agents, aren't they? They're snaky people.
It's typical Southerner.
Yeah, typical Southerner. Typical Tory. Who said that? Anyway. Mike Noon, 15th place at the moment and last. And he's about to start his first flying lap of the evening.
His helmet looks like
folks,
his helmet looks like it's like South African flag colours there.
It does a little bit, doesn't it? I can tell you he's not actually from South Africa, but yeah, I can see it. I can see the resemblance, Phil. But here comes Mike Noon then to start his flying lap. Remember, in the most dramatic of circumstances, if Force India win this race 1 and 2, and the 2 Mercedes and the 2 Haas cars are out of it, but that means crash out. Then the World Championship will be won by 1 point by the 2 Force India cars. Whether you think that's it, they've got anything to fight for by that or not, they are mathematically still in with a shout. Phil, rate their chances.
0.0001%.
Well, there you go, no chance in other words. Mike Noon and his teammate Dom Smith, who's actually 8th quickest at the moment, so doing a solid job, but not quite as good as Joe Sayer. Surely that's his target, you would think. Dom and Joe have had their own battles raging on for years and years, all the way through the TGP series since it's began, really. And these two have always been dueling, whether it be for a TGP2 title. And I think Dom's actually won a TGP1 title back in the day, I believe. I'm not so sure. I think he has anyway.
Mike a little bit sideways going through. Slightly better than Jack Pearson was on his first run. So see how this lap is going to end for Mike as he comes into the hotel section now.
Yeah, here he comes. And we stay in there, Phil, of course, this weekend. The hotel, the Sayre Sports, they spoil us, don't they? Down at Sayre Sports.
They do. I think you just lost the back end a bit there, coming under the hotel. Still on it
He
though.
comes up, oh, a little wide for number 38, Mike Noon. That's his karting number, remember? Around the final corner, 15th at the moment. Where does Mike Noon go? Nowhere.
Nowhere.
15th.
Did his lap get disqualified?
Maybe. Oh, look at that, sliding on the rear end there as he comes through turn 1 exit. Through the high speed turn 3.
Following Jack Pearson as he comes through turn 3.
Yep, flat out there for the Haas car, heading down into this stadium section. You could call it a stadium-like section, couldn't you, Phil?
Yeah, you could do. Or the first stadium section, because it kind of goes all the way. Like, it doesn't go all the way around, but like I wouldn't class this next corner as another part of the another. Oh, Bossman Sean goes quickest 37.0, half a second quicker.
That's a great effort. That's a superb effort from Bossman Sean. A 37 flat to go quickest of all, and certainly that puts a damper in things for Haas, because ideally Jack Pearson wants to win this race. A Silent Assassin now goes second, gets within a 10th, Phil.
Oh, yes,
what you said in Brazil about a few tenths with the track rubbering in is coming through here. What can Jack Pearson do as he goes through the middle sector and towards the end of the lap? This needs to be tidy. It was better, wasn't it? Jack Pearson getting us all running wide. Not what you want to be doing. I think he would have lost time doing that, so...
Yeah, you definitely don't gain time out there, you lose a lot more going out wide.
What can he do as he heads down towards the final couple of corners? Jack Pearson needs to improve, especially with Owen fourth at the moment, and Owen's actually off the track and abandoned it, so this is crucial. If Jack can get up to the front, round the final corner, where is Jack Pearson going to put his car?
Oh, he goes
fastest! And that's vital!
Wow.
What a brilliant effort from Jack Pearson to jump into the 36s. A 1:36.9. He beats Bossman Sean, he beats Silent Assassin. And now, Phil Bardwell. Well, what do you make of this?
Well, very interesting. Oh, Chris Johnson's just knocked Joe, so Joe's lost 2 places. Mike Noon's popped up to 5th there, Chris Johnson up to 6th, so Joe again slipping down. So I still at the moment would go for Mercedes, but we've seen what Joe can do from a lowly position. He'll probably have to do it again. As right around Soleil, come around the last corner, where can he slot up to? He goes to 6th, he knocks Joe down to 8th place again.
Oh, not good for Joe. He's dropped back into where he once
Dom
was.
Smith around the last corner. What can he do? Can he improve his position? He would be aiming for Joe. He does! He goes to 7th!
He does, 7th. Great effort, and now Joe's qualifying doesn't look so good, does it? And all of a sudden it's a bit of concern.
Here comes Jacko. Now, what can he do? Can he get involved? He needs to get into the mix, really. Can he improve? He stays 11th.
39.1 at the end. He did improve his time by quite a bit, but no way up the order. So Jacko only 11th, Joe Sayre only 9th. It looks like it's going to be between Jack and Phil to Jack and Owen to decide who comes home with this constructors. But then again, Joe's race pace has been good, hasn't it, Phil?
It has. Look at the top 3, only separated by 2 tenths. But then it's like a different league. Back to Owen's 8 tenths of a second. Back to Owen's.
Yeah,
huge gap.
What I said at the top of the session, ringing through. He's concentrated on Brazil to ensure he comes home with the title, hasn't he? But it's Jack Pearson on top from Bossman Sean, Silent Assassin 3rd, and Owen Quimby in 4th.
Indeed, yes. So I've come off so I don't get banned from FOM. Go ahead. Okay, I'll go for Mercedes. Deal.
Jack Pearson starting for pole. Can Haas lift the constructors from 11 points back as they pull away from the grid? Jack Pearson, immaculate start, leading into turn 1. Under pressure, Sean loses out. Owen gets the crucial jump up to 2nd, and now my pint is looking like it's heading to Phil. Goodness me. Great start from Owen Quimby as Jack Pearson leads
brilliant move around the outside the 3rd.
Oh, wow, what a move, Mike Noon, up into 3rd place. Bossman Sean is 4th, Silent Assassin 5th, Sir Lane 6th, Chris Johnson bumping and grinding with Chiapelli for 7th and 8th, and they're still banging wheels. Side by side, and it looks to me like it's Chris Johnson winning the battle, or losing the battle, sorry, to Chiapelli. Chiapelli 7th, Chris 8th, Dom 9th, Joe in a vital 10th and 1 point ahead of Jacko in 11th. But that's not enough at the moment, Phil.
No, it's
not
not.
Enough.
As Bossman Sean and Selena go side by side.
Silent Assassin. Oh, sorry, Sir Lane. Yeah, my mistake. No. Yes, Silent Assassin.
It is Silent Assassin. Sorry, my mistake. Yes. Well, they're right behind Mike Noon now. So this is a. Let's get very tasty. It's the next break, and so could they go 3 wide?
Silent Assassin's coming past here. Is he going to do it? Breaks Mike Noon. Big steady, very late. Pushes him off the road. That's a mistake, man. That's Mike Noon's fault, surely.
Oh.
If Silent Assassin gets a penalty, that will surely get taken off at the end of the Grand Prix, and he'll surely stay ahead of Mike Noon. They just really outbreak themselves and forced the Silent Assassin off the road. Would you agree with that, Phil?
Possibly, yeah. I was going to say Silent Assassin should let Mike go through just because he finished the overtake off circuit. So, and now he can argue to get them. Oh, Mike spun! Mike's lost it!
He spun! And Bossman Sean hit collector. He collects Bossman Sean in the process, and Bossman Sean has he got damage?
Oh,
he might have damage.
I think Mike's got damage. Is he heading in the pit lane? Yeah. Safety car! There's a
safety
car!
There is a safety car. Why would that be? Bossman Sean, is he out of the race? Is somebody out of the race? Wow.
It can only be for debris.
It can only be for debris. So there you go. We've got a drama already. Mike Noon losing it underneath the hotel. Some views.
And Joe's in the pits, crucially.
Oh, that's interesting. Will he go into the soft compound?
He's fitting. It looks like super softs.
Super softs to the end then. I'm surprised that some of the field think this is possible. And this could really shake up the field, actually. I never realised how much this will shake up the field. Bossman Sean, Chiapelli, Joe, Mike, Jacko, Baza, Selene and Dom all in the pits. And that means that the rest are all going to suffer, aren't they?
Absolutely. That's an early pit stop. So, who out of the stoppers, so Bossman Sean effectively could be leading this race?
From Chiapelli. Crucially, Baza will be in amongst the top of the order, which is, of course, my mother's tip for victory. If that comes off, that would be ridiculous. But yeah, I think the good thing about this game is, of course, the delta speed is quite, you get quite a decent speed to go at, so they might still be out ahead. So obviously now the rest of the field will have to do that.
Well, these guys have just had to overtake the safety car, which, if I remember rightly, eliminates the delta, so these guys can go flat out to catch up.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Not really. It doesn't look like they're going fast there.
I think they are, because
as if they're going slow.
yeah, maybe not.
He's going slowly. Yeah. We'll see though how this works out. I'm going to have a look at the gap to the leader, which is showing up at 27.8 seconds between Jack Pearson and Bossman Sean.
I think what's happened, they've caught up behind Red Bull Kim, who's stuck at a delta, but the rest of them don't. So this is Red Bull Kim. Unfortunately, is a huge cork in the bottle.
Yeah, he is.
So does everyone else pit in? Jack and Owen both pit. Chris Johnson pits. Silent Assassin stays out. Probably a mistake.
Bossman Sean going to be in the final corner. I think Jack Pearson's going to be safe.
Owen goes on softs. Jack on super softs.
Owen soft, Jack super soft. That's a little bit interesting. Bossman Sean crossing the start-finish line. He's going to be...
So where's Jack Pearson? Jack Pearson's still going to maintain the lead, is he?
Yeah.
Owen and Bossman Sean could be close. No, so Owen stays ahead of Bossman Sean.
So Bossman Sean fourth then, third after the pit stops with Silent Assassin stops. So Jack, Owen, Bossman Sean, Mike Noon is now going to be a net fourth. Baza is going to be a net fifth. What a jump for Baza!
Rosalia's tip, Baza.
Ma'am, your tip might come in here. Baza is in the top 5 after the stops. Is there not a bet actually for Baza to finish on betnoon.com?
Joe says he's had to pit again. Oh, disaster!
Oh, that's it then. It's going to take an absolute miracle now for those guys to win. The constructors, the only saving grace is the fact that not only is there a safety car, but Jacko's 13th. So it's not really working out, is it?
Jack at the moment is ahead of Owen, so it still could go their way, but they definitely didn't need that. Joe needed to not have another pit stop. It's another tall order. So Joe needs to now find his Interlagos form and have another stellar drive. Assassin, I'm curious why he didn't pit.
Yeah, very strange decision there from Silent Assassin. What will he do now? Well, he's going to have to come in, isn't he?
He's probably going to stay out a little bit, I'd imagine.
I think the safety car might be coming in right now, Phil.
It looks like it, yes.
Right out of it. Which is very soon, isn't it? Very early. So will these guys get to the end? No problem. It will be interesting to see. Owen Quimby might have the upper hand on soft, but he is going to be under attack from cars behind. So Haas versus Mercedes for the Constructors' Championship is going to get very tasty, I think, over the next few laps. I think it could shape what's going to happen. Silent Assassin bolts then, Phil, off into the distance. He's left Jack Pearson behind.
Oh, he's loved my days. Yes, he has. Jack was half asleep there.
And Owen was also half asleep. He's got Postman Sean right behind him. So it might be worth keeping an eye in the next few laps on Jose and Jacko's progress, but for now we'll keep an eye on Owen Quimby, who will not have the temperature he wants on those soft tyres. It's harder, as you know, Phil, to get tempered into the hard
Jack, well off the circuit there.
Really deep. Jack, and now Owen goes deep, and this is it. Postman Sean can line him up.
Oh, that's the perfect line, set him up.
Oh, squeezes him wide a little bit, and now Mike Moon will be on the tail. He's actually on the inside of Postman Sean. Can't quite find a way through and has to tuck in behind, so well Mike Noon now find a way past Postman Sean to go down the long straight towards the heavy braking zone. They go side by side, banging wheels, for goodness sake. Don't collide down there, it'll be a huge crash. Mike Noon tries to outbrake Postman Sean, he doesn't try, he does, and moves up into 4th place ahead of the Irishman. That's all good for Owen Quimby though, isn't it, Phil?
It is, that gives Owen a bit of breathing space now. Mike defending now from Postman Sean. Postman Sean, he's got to use the fresher tyre, the softer tyres. He dived down the inside, didn't make it though. So Mike making the soft tyres work, and that's only going to come into his advantage later on in the race when the super softs wear out a bit more than the soft. So also we're interested to see if Owen will catch back up to Jack Pearson, who's kind of gambled on the super softs a little bit there.
Yeah, he's doing well. Also, Bazza still 6th, Phil. He's had a good start, Bazza. Solid first lap after the safety car. Postman Sean in the wall! Oh, that could be the end of his day. We might see another Postman Sean retirement. He likes to retire, and I think we're going to see another one.
Mike Noon with another 3-second penalty as well, so...
Chris is coming in as well for a stop. I don't know why. He doesn't look to have any damage, I don't think.
Is he serving a drive-through penalty? He is!
Yeah, Chris Johnson serving a drive-through penalty.
So I wonder if he's sped in the pit lane.
Must off. Postman Sean getting a new nose fitted. He's down to 14. And he won't be too far away from his standard retirement, I wouldn't have thought. Silent Assassin leading though from Jack Pearson 2nd. Jack Pearson hunting him down, even though he's on the quicker tyre. Silent Assassin, those tyres will start to go, Phil. We said it in qualifying, they will wear out quickly. Phil, you raced here yesterday. What kind of percentage should Silent Assassin have right now, do you think, on his tyre?
He's probably looking at maybe, with the safety car will help him, but he's probably looking at maybe like 40-50%, especially on the right hand side. So they won't be hanging on too pretty now. Jack Pearson did set the fastest lap on the first lap after the safety car, so Jack's on a mission here. He's at the moment he's doing everything right. He needs to win, but Joe Sayer, we need to keep an eye on Joe. At the moment he's down in 12th place, and he's behind Jacko as well. So at the moment, Pine's coming my way, Andy.
Yeah, the Pine's going your way at the moment, but he's chasing down Jacko, and it's worth keeping an eye on that actually. But he is some 5 seconds away from the points, which is crucial for these guys. But he will actually be maybe ahead of Silent Assassin after all this, you know, because when he comes into the pits, these guys might be scrapping over a point.
Potentially.
If they keep pace.
Don't forget, Joe is in the points, in the Joe Say point system. He's on 1 point.
Oh, sorry, of course, I keep forgetting. He's on 1 point, and Jack was on 2. So
his own point system paying dividends for himself. Shocking that, hey?
Oh, you know what? I'm happily going to lose a pint for that. See if the point system kills him off for his constructors. I'll happily lose a pint to that. Postman Sean picks up a 3-second time penalty. He's due to the tyres now. Oh, here we go. This is vital. This could be for a point. And as for a point, it's for 11 to 12. There is a point in this, and now I can see why Joe Sayer likes his point system, because we get excited about that. Moving up into 11th place, taking 2 points instead of 1, and that could be vital. So 2 points for Joe, 1 point for Jacko. Let's calculate it up. Jack's got 18, make that 20 with Joe, and Owen is going to get 16. So that's only a 4-point gain at the moment. Well, actually, when Silent Assassin pits, Jack and Joe will have 27, and Owen and 18, 19. So 8 points difference it will be.
Oh, a few more
need 11.
Mike is hanging on to Owen now, so interesting if Mike can maybe close that gap. He's within DRS range, so that will help if he can maintain that. Bossman Sean has retired. He's binned it.
Yeah, well, we knew that was coming. Bosman Sean gets his standard retirement. Betting was suspended on that one, and he has landed the retirement we expected. So Owen Quimby, if he was to lose this third place to Mike Noon, that would mean that the Constructors' Championship as it stands, if they swap places, would be level. It would be dead level. But Owen Quimby, with his 7 victories, would, on countback, help his Mercedes team to the championship.
Jacko's down to 13th. Jacko's out the points.
Chris Johnson moves up into the points. Jacko out of the points. And that now means that the gap is now 9 points. And if Owen and Mike swap positions, it will be a title for Haas, and the paint will be coming my way, Phil Bartlett.
No. I'll tell you what, Silent Assassin hanging on in now. I'm giving him credit. He's still maintaining the lap times on these ultra softs, so fair play to him.
Yeah, so that's good going, and you would know, especially given the fact you raced in these sorts of conditions last night. We've got a battle between Michael Kenny and Tennis for 8th and 9th. Michael Kenny tries to go round the outside of Tennis. Tennis tries to break later, but he does get it right. The bang wheels.
Front wing damage there for Tennis, surely.
Yep, it is. Right end plate damage on Tennis's car. Not good for the Dutch driver. The Flying Dutchman might be flying down pit lane soon. Not ideal, but look at the gap between Mike and Owen. It's 4/10.
It is.
It's getting tasty.
Oh.
Getting very tasty. This is what we like to see, isn't it? We said it would be interesting.
Mike can smell that exhaust. Can he smell it? However, what I've forgotten, Mike does have time penalties, so this is probably irrelevant.
Yeah, it is irrelevant, of course. I forgot about that. Silent Assassin in the pits then to serve his stop. What will this mean for Joe Sayer? That's interesting. Well, imagine Silent Assassin slots in front of Joe, but behind Joe.
I think he will do. You know, he's already heading up the pits now. Where's Joe? Joe's not even. He's coming in last second. So Silent Assassin's still ahead of Joe.
Quite comfortably as well. And will be ahead of Michael Kenny as well. Yes, he will. So Silent Assassin into 7th place.
Selene on the inside of Bazza. Oh, that was close.
Bazza up to 4th. Holy crap, my mum could get this right.
This will be interesting.
Bazza running in 4th position. If Bazza does this.
Selene and Dom will have the benefit of DRS. So can Selene shuffle down the inside of Bazza in the next break? So he's having a look. He's going down the inside right now.
Bazza breaks late.
Brakes.
Good driving from Bazza there. He's determined not to lose his position, isn't he? He's holding these guys up, but he's putting in a super job in 4th place at the moment.
He is.
Driver of the day last time out was Joe Sayer, but surely this time out at the moment, after 8 laps, just beyond halfway, Bazza's getting it. And again he breaks late, and again he outfoxes Selene and
Good
keeps
defending.
the car. Yeah, good driving from Bazza. I'm really pleased with that. That's lovely. Great stuff. Meanwhile, at front, Jack Pearson has a 7-second lead.
Mike has got ahead of Owen.
Oh, so he has.
So he now needs to. He now needs to build a gap. I don't know what the gap he needs to do, but he now needs to build a gap. Jack is flying away without out in front. He just needs to keep his tyres intact, really.
He has a penalty though, Jack Pearson. He's got 1 penalty to his name, but that's fine. He's got a 7-second lead. Mike Noonan's got 1 penalty. Mike Noonan's got 1 penalty, so he needs 3 seconds.
Then we'll concentrate on the battle for 4th place, which is Bazza, Selene and Dom Smith. And Silent Assassin, after his pit stop, he'll be flying up to them very quickly.
Yeah, here's another curveball to throw at you. If Silent Assassin can clear these 4 and of course that's not easy because the 4 of them are all, these 3 are all battling like crazy. can he get to Owen? He would. He will definitely won't get to Jack because there's 7 seconds between Jack and Owen. But if he does get to Owen, that could be the key.
He's already on the back of Dom Smith. If for that to happen, he needs to get clear Dom Smith now, and he's done it.
Yeah, he has done it. Silent Assassin on a charge here. If he can clear Sir Lane and Baza, if Joe can't do the business, Silent Assassin at Ferrari can help their sister team Haas to Constructors' Glory. What a story that would be, Phil, in TGP2. Ferrari helping out Haas, it's usually the other way around. On track anyway.
Silent Assassin now needs to get, he doesn't have the benefit of DRS from Sul in front. Can he make a move on Baza? He's having a think about it, but so far there's a yellow flag in sector 3. I don't know what that's for.
Why? Not Jack. Jack's okay. Red Bull Cam who just goes off the track.
Jose is up to 10th place, and he's on the back of Tinnis, who as we know has front wing damage. So he's going to be very careful. Joe, he needs to get through this bunch, and he needs to get past Michael Kenny as well, who's just up the road. But Chris Johnson, he'll be fighting for himself. So Chris Johnson will also, he's going to be very careful from that. Here comes Joe. He's not thinking about it.
Let's just calculate again. Jack Pearson at the moment picking up 25. Joe Sayer picking up 3. That's 28. And what is going on? Owen, he's going to pick, well, ignore the penalty. He's going to get 18 points per second. And what's Jack getting? Nothing. So 18. So what are they getting? 28. Oh, one more point.
One more point. Which is right there. It's right in front of you, Joe. Here comes Chris Johnson now. This is not what Haas needs.
Oh, it's Chris Johnson going to spoil the party. He tries to go around the outside.
He tries to.
He's up to 9. He's up to 9 because Chiapelli's in the pit.
Oh!
Joe Sayer. But no, he doesn't move into position because Jacko's now got a point. So it's as you were. He needs 8.
He needs his point. And Tinnis, he does have front wing damage. So this is agonising. Joe's got to be very careful. But Chris Johnson smelling the opportunity.
Assassin's cleared Baza. He's up to 4th. Next car for him is Owen Quimby. 10 seconds to find. I don't think he's going to do it too much of that. So it's all down to Joe Sayer.
Here comes Joe.
If he can clear Tennis.
Right on board of it now.
This could be the Constructors' Championship. Joe Sayer down the inside of Tennis. He makes a move stick. And Haas go crazy in the garage. I go crazy because I'm getting a pint out of this. And through goes Joe Sayer into the crucial 8th place that Haas need to take on the Constructors' Championship.
Chris Johnson.
Wow.
Chris Johnson also falls him through. He's past Tinnis. So Chris Johnson, he'll be back on Joe. So Joe's still got pressure because Chris Johnson, he'll be eager to get past him as well. And for my benefit as well, Chris Johnson, please, this is for a pint.
Michael Kenny though, Michael Kenny's coming up next. So even if Chris does get through, Joe has to negotiate Michael Kenny in the remaining 3.5 laps. Jack Pearson doing everything. Michael Kenny goes deep, Michael Kenny deep. And now surely Joe's going to be on him. And
Mike are side by side.
Oh, Owen through on Mike.
Owen's got to be careful though. He can't afford contact.
It's irrelevant. He needs to be ahead of Jack because we know he's going to be ahead of Mike Kenny.
Mike on inside.
Goodness me, what was that? And now he's on the inside, and now he's through. What a move! That was lovely. Owen will surely do the switchback. Okay, well, they go side by side. What a duel in the hairpin. It's very rarely you see cars go side by side there. And now, Mike Moon against Owen Quimby down the straight. Who's going to have the high ground? Looks like Owen Quimby to me is going to move past and up into 2nd place.
He does.
And that seals it.
Jacko is back up to 11th. He's in points position again. Tinnis has pitted.
We need to recalculate. So Jacko gets 2. Owen Quimby gets 20, 18. So that's 20 altogether. Jack Pearson 25.
Mike around the outside of Owen.
What a move! Oh, what a move! Oh, that was stunning. He looked like he was teasing him at the hairpin with his move, but that is even better. Right round the outside. Phil Bardwell, sum it up.
Oh, what a move! Owen, it isn't finished yet. Has he got front wing damage? Was there contact there? No, I don't think it was.
It wasn't.
Owen cannot afford front wing damage. Silent Assassin is now only 4.2 seconds behind. He needs him to continue battling.
Yeah, he does, and this is not good for Owen. Owen should just let Mike clear off into the distance and focus on Silent Assassin here. Because he's going to be second anyway with the penalties that Mike Noon has. Jack Pearson 25 points. Joe Sayer right now is going to get what? What's that?
I don't know.
It's your point system.
His fucking point system. Scrap it.
5 points.
Chris Johnson time penalty. Oh, that's crucial.
That is vital. He's going to get 5 points. Joe 5, so Jack's on 25. If Joe gets 5, that
That's
means
30.
they're going to get 30. Owen's got 18. Oh my goodness, 19, 20. It's enough. Right now it's enough.
It is enough.
It's enough for Mercedes by 1 point.
And, right, so Joe he absolutely and has need him to get Michael Kenny. Chris Johnson is still on the back. He does have a 3-second time penalty though, and Selene is just behind him. So maybe Selene needs to. Will he help out Haas, or will he just spoil the party for them?
And this is all because
Mike, another penalty.
Chiapelli dropped behind Jacko as well. This is the reason. Mike gets another penalty. Forget him. He's going to be finishing behind. It's all about. But crucially, Mike is helping Silent Assassin by keeping on as the next car.
He
So,
is.
The key here for Mercedes is Silent Assassin or Joe getting past Michael Kenny. It's one of the two. Joe has got to clear Michael Kenny, and he's right behind him.
It's there. We are now watching the constructors fight happening right in front of our eyes now. At the moment, Jacko in P11. He's nowhere near. He's in no man's land, to be honest. Oh, I thought Joe was there. He's got right on the gearbox there. Jack Pearson out in front, no one touching him. Owen at the moment third. He needs to be wary of Silent Assassin. There's a gap though of 3.5 seconds, so at the moment it's a bit comfortable.
I think he's got him covered. The gap's closed down. He's backed off Mike Noon and giving him the breathing space he needed to give him. So now Joe Sayer has got just 1 lap.
2 laps, I think.
2 laps. Yeah. To pass Michael Kenny and give Haas the World Constructors Championship and deny Mercedes a double. Right now, there's 1 point between them.
Oh, Joe Sayer.
No, wait, this won't give him the championship. That'll put him level.
Oh, yes. Oh.
That would put him level.
He still needs to do it, though.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Michael Kenny wide. Here we go. Joe Sayer now, and he needs to get after Dom after it.
He does.
He needs to get. So 5 points becomes 6 points. They go level on points now as he goes alongside Michael Kenny and passes Michael Kenny. Another quick calculation. Jack Pearson 25 points. Joe Sayer 6 points is 31. Owen Quimby 18 plus the 2 from Jacko is 20. There's 11 points between him and the championship going into it, and the 11 points is being covered right now. They're level on points.
Oh my, couldn't you get any tighter?
You get any tighter. The championship for the drivers might be done, but the constructors
Selene goes round the outside of Michael Kenny. Great move by Selene, and Chris Johnson coming down the inside. Oh, there's a bit of contact there between the two of them. So Joe now. Oh no.
He's got to get to Dom.
2.8 seconds. Is Dom slowing?
He's got front wing damage. He's got front wing damage.
Oh.
Left end plate damage for Dom Smith.
Oh.
So Dom Smith
drama.
Remember when Dom Smith decided a championship in the final corner for Chris Johnson and denied him? Well, it might happen again.
Mike Noon, another time penalty.
Mike Noon's out of the question. Owen Quimby is going to keep Silent Assassin at bay.
Hang on a sec.
What if Mike crashes out?
Mike, now how many time penalties does Mike Noon have? Because he could go behind Jose if Jose is close enough. No, he won't be. He won't be close enough. So. Here comes Selene. No, he's right on Joe. They're closing on Dom. This is drama on the last lap.
Oh my goodness. Where is the Constructors' Championship going to go? The Mercedes team are not leaving the pit wall, or the Haas team are not leaving their garages to go. And they're not going to leave their garages to go and greet the winner, Jack Pearson, the Haas boys. They need to see what happens. Selene needs to get Joe to end all Haas hopes. Joe needs to get Dom to win it for Haas. Right now it's level pegging. Who would have thought it going into the final lap of the Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi? The Constructors' hands in the balance. If Selene passes Haas, Haas will probably end their engine partnership with Ferrari. Jack Pearson has done everything he needs to do. Jack Pearson has won the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. He's done it for Haas. Owen is going to pick up second with Mike Noon's penalties. So now we wait to see him win the Constructors' Championship.
Dom is struggling.
He's really struggling. Joe Sayer needs to overtake him to take the title for Haas. Will he do it?
He's going down the inside.
He's gonna do it! Joe Sayer pushes Dom out! He's ahead!
Oh, what can Celine do? Can Celine get Joe?
Unbelievable! Haas are going crazy down there in their garage, but they've not won it yet! Can Celine deny the title for us? In the final corner, it doesn't look like it. Haas are going to steal it on the final lap. Mercedes have been denied. Haas with the constructors. Unbelievable. You owe me a pint, Phil Barfield. Crazy down at Haas garage. Absolute bedlam. Unbelievable. Bedlam in the Haas garage. They're going crazy. They're throwing the television screens about. Unbelievable. Jenny Haas cannot believe it. And neither can we. Pour the pint, Phil Bardwell. Pour the pint.
God, what would you like? I'll give you that after. That was quite entertaining. Tenants.
What an end to this race. What an end to this championship. Dom Smith, struggling with a damaged front wing, loses the position to Joe Sayer. And Joe picks up the vital point they needed to bring home the World Constructors Championship for Haas. Jack Pearson looks delighted. Look at that. Look at the Haas boy up there as well. Is that Jenny Haas up there? Or Günther Steiner? One of the two. Gene Haas, not Jenny. Gene Haas or Günther Steiner. What one is that? I think it's Günther Steiner, you know. And look, Haas jumping for joy. Phil, something that ended up. What an ending.
Well, what an ending. We couldn't have asked for a better ending. I mean, we could have if the driver's title went to the wire as well, but the construct, that was nail biting. It was one way, then the other, then the other. You couldn't predict it. It was to and throwing all the way, and Joe Sayer, he did it in the end. What a move. Dom Smith struggling with his front wing damage there.
Absolutely incredible. The fireworks go off at the end of the Grand Prix. The fireworks were going off on the racetrack before the end of it though, weren't they? Absolutely stunning. Jack Pearson wins the race from Onclimi as an assassin. Maitland fourth. Baza, brilliant fifth. Well done Rosalia for calling that one. Joe is sixth. Sirlane seventh.
Shall we get Owen in for a quick word? And the Haas team. Let's get them all in. So, Jack, Joe, Owen. Let's see if they come up to the commentary box. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, folks. That was rather entertaining end to the season. Also, Joe had to pit again because he lost his front wing under the safety car. And here is the drivers' champion. Owen, congratulations. Now, were you taking it easy in Brazil there in the wet?
Oh my god. Oh days.
We are still live, by the way, Joe.
Sweating.
When it went through an interview, I was watching the stream, right, and like, well, just saying that. But when it went on, when I finished the race and looked on board with Joe, and he was literally about to overtake, I was like, "Dive bomb!"
I did shout to Dom. I said, "I'm going down your inside. I'm going down your."
I'm gonna get Dom Smith in here as well. So, Owen Quimby, congratulations once again. Were you taking it easy in Brazil there?
Yeah, to be honest, I weren't pushing. I was going quickly, but I weren't taking any risks with moves. I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, we had a feeling about that. Joe Sayer, your drive in Brazil, incredible. Me and Andy voted you driver of the day in Brazil. There, you fully deserve that. You did absolutely everything. Unfortunately, your teammate Jack Pearson bottled it. Joe, some of your day. You were the star of the day, to be honest.
Oh, I'm still shaking. I'm still sweating. Brazil was tough. That's the second time this season. That's my second best result this season, and both times I'd come up on the back of the grid. So I don't make it easy for myself. I was a bit fortunate with Owen messing up, coming out the last corner, which allowed me to get ahead of him. But it wasn't easy because I was fuel saving since the safety car. When the safety car came out, I realised I was in the red by half a lap of fuel. So the most of the second half of that race was fuel saving.
Oh
Can you
dear
invite
me.
Phil? Can you invite Mike, Phil?
I will do after this. So Jack, congratulations on your Abu Dhabi win, but commiserations. What happens? What happened in Brazil?
To the same place twice on into that. I just locked up and went straight off.
Right.
And you hitting the wall in
And then Joe was trying. I told Joe to slow him down, but
We had the feeling that was happening. All of a sudden, like
I was going as slow as I could through those corners.
Oh, my gift! I have a gift.
Whee.
I'm back.
well,
I'm going
so
out to
I managed
celebrate,
to-
lads.
you go out to celebrate, Owen, and thanks to Joe Sayer, I now owe Andy a pint. Cheers, Joe.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
Because we got the contractors.
Yeah, but Andy.
I heard you going
Andy's-
on about
to be
pint.
fair, Jacko didn't. I was trying my best. I did as much as I could in Abu Dhabi. Jacko didn't help.
You did. It was a good. You and Mike had a good fight. That was a.
Oh no, we're having such a great scrap.
It was just Mike had about 70 seconds of time penalties. It was.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Man City 3-0 up.
Well, we're going to round off the coverage here of the TGP2 season here. So Owen is the champion, Haas are the constructors, and thoroughly entertaining last round. We will see you next season.